Alex Grinelli. In goal number 1, Richard Sanchez. Defender number 5, Alexi Urahi.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then, someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
Many Americans have missed regular dental care in the past few years. It's important to see a dentist twice a year to identify any problems early. Taking care of your oral health helps overall health. Brushing at least twice a day with fluoride toothpaste and flossing daily can help prevent oral health problems. For more information, visit hrsa.gov/oral-health.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
Buying a house can seem almost impossible, especially today. But with the right agent in your corner, it makes the challenge seem effortless. Hi, I'm Connor Cochran with Good Oak Real Estate, your go-to agent in the Valley. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Because finding the perfect home shouldn't be stressful, it should be exciting. Call 480-688-3200 today. Again, that's 480-688-3200. Let's have the conversation.
You're listening to The Jim Rome Show.
Did the Mavericks raise ticket prices as soon as they saw Kyrie writhing on the floor in pain? Would not surprise me at all, given that's exactly what they did after they dealt Luka and before Kyrie went down. Never mind raising ticket prices. Now that Kyrie is lost for the year, why not just make it official and announce today that you're moving the franchise to Vegas? Trust me, nobody would be surprised.
Hey Phoenix Rising fans, this is Discount Tire, your hometown tire retailer and trusted partner on the road for over 65 years. We know it can be overwhelming when buying tires, but we're here to help. Our online tire buying guide, Treadwell, makes finding the right tire simple. Just plug in your vehicle, location, and driving habits, and Treadwell will give you unbiased, personalized recommendations based on your needs, not based on price. Inviting, easy, and safe. Just how tire buying should be. Shop tires with Treadwell at discounttire.com. Let's get you taken care of.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
We're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that our daughters have what they need to grow and learn. But that isn't the case for nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. that struggle with hunger.
Childhood hunger is a heartbreaking reality that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and provides it to families and children in need.
You can help kids in need in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Let's get into the action. Phoenix Rising Soccer, live now on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
United States sporting world here on this Sunday afternoon, San Antonio, Texas. And today, it's an opportunity for two teams to stake their claim in front of a national audience. Phoenix Rising and San Antonio FC here on Sirius XM, courtesy of the Phoenix Rising Radio Network. Ryan Sikora with Kevin Cardez, live from Toyota Field in San Antonio, Texas, for this Western Conference war on this Sunday afternoon slate, Kevin. Two teams on two opposite ends of the Western Conference standings meeting for the first time in 2025.
Yeah, Ryan, the league may not be won in the first month, but you can sure watch it get away from you. Rising sit 11 points back now, nearly. They have a lot of work to do just a month in. San Antonio looking for their 5th win through 5 games. Rising looking for their first in 5 in 2025. Lots of work to do for the boys in red. San Antonio rolling on all fronts. Someone's going to come out with a big result.
The Phoenicians fresh off a 3-1 defeat in California to Monterey Bay FC. They rock the all-red kit on this away day trip to Texas. The home side in their white chain strip with the teal numbers, the orange accents, as Gerald Margarita captains for Phoenix Rising. The big absence in this game, though, is Mitchell Tainter for San Antonio, the all-league center back.
Yeah, there's 2 big center backs missing. Patmar Boy for Phoenix and Mitchell Tainter for San Antonio. You're missing 2 of the biggest catalysts for either team. Mitchell Tainter is an absolute terror. When he gets back on his right foot and he tracks back on any ball, he is a demon. His partner in the center, Alex Croniale, will be there to win the headers, win the duels, and engage in those one-on-one interactions. But Mitchell cleans up everything else. He is a fantastic best-in-league option through the center, and so is Patmar Boy on the other end. Out this week for a red card. Big holes for each side. Someone will figure it out.
It's a Phoenix side who missed 9 players due to injury last week in the Monterey Bay loss. They add those 2. They've gotten a little bit healthier here on this Sunday afternoon. About 30 seconds till we start kickoff. Rising will travel left to right on your radio dial here this afternoon for a Sunday matinee. San Antonio right to left. The referee crew is led by Greg Dobka. His 93rd USL Championship contest. He gives out about 4 yellow cards a match. He worked this exact same fixture a season ago at Toyota Field. That was a 2-1 San Antonio win. Dobka holds the ball in the center circle. Tristan Henry, Phoenix Rising's goalkeeper in green. A bright colored kit for Richard Sanchez, the goalkeeper for San Antonio. Carlos Llamosa, their manager, Pamadou Ka, leads the away side on this Sunday afternoon. The crew is in yellow on this 60-degree San Antonio day. We are off and running from Toyota Field. San Antonio kick it off first and immediately get it into the backward portion of their pitch with the 30-year-old goalkeeper, Richard Sanchez. Alexis Swahi, who transferred in this offseason from FC Tulsa, starts in this lineup instead of Mitchell Tainter. Croniale, and they are eager to switch play right now. San Antonio, the only 3 players who've touched, the 2 center backs, and the goalkeeper, Kevin Cardez.
Yeah, they're going to move it back and forth, and this is what San Antonio does best. They're going to look and find the open space, and if it's not there, they're going to hold and wait. Both teams in this contest will want to have the portion of the ball that's larger than the other, but someone will find the open run.
Croniale, a diagonal to the left side, a touch on the ground for Jimmy Madronda, a longtime MLS veteran who scored the goal of the week last week in the championship. Back for Swahi. Phoenix, a stout and resolute wall. We're 60 seconds into this contest. Skipping a line and missed by JP Skierce of Rising. First touch for Juan Aguadelo. He lays along, and Aguadelo a touch in the center circle, then all the way back for his center back, Swahi. Left side now, Madronda stutters, turns on his left, and drives it backward for the holding midfielder, Alamir Soto, a new signing from Colombia, which is the native country of Carlos Llamosa, born and raised in Colombia before becoming a United States international. Wide for Jorge Hernandez. Into the space now for Jake LaCava, who's bumped off of it by Colin Smith. Braxton Montgomery in the area as well. A touch for Phoenix Rising's Emil Quaisho on the left. Heels on the touchline as he turns back for Montgomery. Clears long, pushed out of play by a San Antonio defender. Montgomery, 18 years old, makes his 2nd consecutive start in the USL Championship. Quaisho driving forward for Phoenix, looking down the line. Can't quite find the stretching run of Isan Nino Sacco, one of 2 strikers today for Phoenix Rising, Kevin Cartez. That's a new look for Pamadukau's side.
We saw it for a moment 2 weeks ago against Rhode Island when they pushed out a front 4 was what it looked like in the moment when they were chasing, trying to find 3 points at home. Instead, they get their second goal, couldn't quite find the third, so they drew and took home a point against Rhode Island. This time, Sacco and Cabral both leading the line again, both natural 9s, asked to do different things.
Medranda skipping a line for San Antonio. Jorge Hernandez a touch. And right to the eyes of Greg Dobka. And the whistle for the first time today of the center referee. Rest of the crew, Brian Marshall, Tom Felice, the 2 assistant referees. William Hale is your 4th. And Swahi has another touch for San Antonio, 3rd minute, 0-0. Left side, half space, defensive portion of the pitch. Feels minimal pressure and pushes the ball back into the feet of the goalkeeper. Soto dropping deep to pick it up off of Sanchez. Amir Soto. Whip wide for Alex Croniele, former Birmingham Legion defender. Puts pressure on Colin Smith, who can't get a touch. Finding the space, Hernandez. Jorge Hernandez ducking wide, driving at feet of Medranda, who lifts it high into the sky. It'll stay in touch. Quaisho trying to play it. He will. It's ripped off of him. Driving down the line is Osorio. It's out for a goal kick. It went over the end line. So some early mistakes from Rising a couple of times on long balls. Not seeing the ball well in this windy sky. 15-mile-per-hour winds with gusts up to 25.
It's also biting when you don't have to. They're giving San Antonio too much opportunity to actually get out in space and move and run. Instead, now see Colin Smith and Harvey trying to gamble, figure out where they're going to be in space and time, trying to be on the touch of a San Antonio player. But when you're on their touch, they're going to get wide and they're going to get open.
JP Skiersa, first start of the season for the former Union Omaha midfielder. Back for Emil Quaisho, turning away towards the touchline. He's fouled from behind by Jake LaCava. So Phoenix a free kick in their own half. They play short for Noble Okello, 6'4" on a bad day. On a good day, he wakes up on the right side of bed. Kevin, he's 6'5". I don't wake up on the right side of the bed that often.
No, me neither.
5th minute, still 0-0. Not really a chance in this one so far. Touch for Damian Rivera. He's shoved away. Osorio again, the offender. Second start of the year for Juan Sebastian Osorio. Mid-off-season acquisition from the country of Colombia. Quaisho in behind. A run for Remy Cabral. Ball stayed up for him. And Swahi valiant defending to cut it off before it reached the 18. Headed to the center circle. Montgomery for Phoenix. Corralled by Luke Hawkinson. And wide for Medranda. First time feet now. And they will build. Lucio Barón. First touches for him, the number 14 in white for SAFC. Multiple center midfield types out there for San Antonio who want to keep the ball when they can.
Yeah, I mean, San Antonio wants to sit on the ball and find their moment. It's the moments of brilliance that have characterized the goals that they've scored to stay undefeated, not just undefeated, 4 straight wins, not a single draw so far. It's guys like Jimmy Medranda, who is consistently called for the ball, who have broken open those lines. Phoenix staying very firm right now in that 4-4-2.
Swahi, he's got it left side. That's where San Antonio has cycled most of their play. Croniele on the right. At the midfield line, looking wide. Heels in the touchline. Osorio, a first-time ball for LaCava. And Montgomery comes in and sweeps it up. Plays it back for his goalkeeper, Henry, who's pressured by Aguadillo. Has to clear first time into the Toyota Field stands. Just over half capacity here today, probably 6 or so, 6.5 maybe, Kevin Cartez?
Yeah, this stadium can stretch to as much as 12,000 for concerts, but for a football game, it's 8,649 seats.
Into the lines, Okello got a touch, a 50-50 ball won by Hernandez. Whip wide right, Harvey Neville wins one for Phoenix. Now one high San Antonio. Jimmy Medranda on the left, clipping wide right, looking for a run. His teammate wouldn't make it, and Damian Rivera scoops it up for the Phoenician side. Pushed into the feet now of Emil Quaisho on the left, and he drops it back for Okello. 7th minute, scoreless. From Toyota Field, the 16th all-time meeting between these two sides. Phoenix 6 wins, San Antonio 6 wins. They've shared 3 draws, so it's 50-50 across the board in this Western Conference clash.
2 straight road games for Phoenix where they don't own the all-time matchup. It's a rare back-to-back occurrence for a team that's dominated the championship for so long.
Ball over the top, Henry chested down Margarita. Feet of Isan Sako, pressured by Beron. Sako into the middle of the park. He's taken to ground. Advantage played. Rising have a 5-on-5. Rushing forward is Akello. Into the box now for Damian Rivera. It's a great stop by Richard Sanchez at the first post. And in the 8th minute, Phoenix find the best chance for either side. It was brilliantly worked into a wide space. And Damian Rivera, Kevin Cardes, just kept on running, took it into the 6, and won a corner kick for Phoenix as play is stopped to check on Isan Sako back on the ground in the center circle.
They'll wave off the physio, but there's a chance he comes on anyways. Sako took a pretty big fall there. Advantage played to Rising. Damian Rivera had an opportunity to get at least a shot on goal. Might have held it a touch too long. May have been able to lay it off to a teammate that was inside the box like Noble Akello, who looped around and made the underlapping run. Instead, Rivera takes a shot a little too late near post. It was covered pretty well there.
So it'll be on the far side of the pitch. An in-swung right-footed ball from Gerald Margarita, who's wearing the captain's armband for the first time this season for Phoenix from offset. He wore it briefly a week ago against Monterey Bay. One right arm straight to the sky in the 9th minute of a scoreless game. Margarita shoves one in. It's lifted away by Swahi. Bounces kindly for Harvey Neville, who strung the strike off the forehead of a San Antonio defender. It's out for a throw, and they will stop play for a possible head injury here. The San Antonio physio will run out onto the pitch. So we're into the 9th minute again. A 0-0 game between two teams that have started at the exact polar opposite of the planet. San Antonio, the only perfect team left in the USL Championship. 12 points from a possible 12. Phoenix have grabbed 2 from a possible 12. It's 1st versus 11th in the Western Conference.
And it's still early. Paz, the first guy to tell you that. Manager of Phoenix Rising. Hey, it's still early. We're still finding ourselves, but eventually you start to run out of time. We're 4 weeks through. We're through the first month. This is match week 5, and the going just gets tougher. And then when you hit the summer, the Rising have to be on the road again and again and again. They love to stack those home games in the spring and in the fall, but in the summer, they get out of that heat and they go on the road. And those are long trips. They have 2 different sections where they play 3 back-to-back-to-back road games, and they have a long stretch coming up with the U.S. Open Cup draw going away to FC Tulsa in 2 weeks, and then they have to stack 3 games in 9 days. This is a big game for the boys in red, because if you get a result here, it sets the tone for what would be a long month coming after this.
I can tell you right now, though, when you say about the travel and the stacking the months, I would much rather be here in San Antonio than in Phoenix over the summer. It's a wonderful 60 today here from Toyota Field. You mentioned Rising, it just gets tougher for the Phoenix side. Their opponents have averaged just over 2 points per game through the first 4 games of the season, good enough for 5th in the West. They get a little bit more difficult with some Eastern Conference foes who've gotten off to slow starts as San Antonio restart play, and Richard Sanchez lumps it high for Colin Smith. Top Sako, corralled by Neville. Pushed wide and over the touchline for Jimmy Madronda to take a touch and then a throw. Carlos Llamosa almost slipped. Almost went head first into the concrete, so he'll take a seat. Smartly so for the former United States men's international Carlos Llamosa. He's a part of the 2002 World Cup team. In behind for Jake LaCava. Into the box he goes. LaCava crossing low. Snuffed out by a Rising defender in Braxton Montgomery. And at last took a touch off of LaCava. 0-0, 11th minute, goal kick Phoenix.
Outside of that action, I don't think that we gave Jurl his flowers enough on that corner kick 2 minutes ago. It was as perfect as it gets, that in-swinging ball that actually in-swings in front of the net. If there's a head there, it's probably a goal. It goes past Noble Akello, who is at the near post, makes it to the dead center of the box. But there's just no one home there. San Antonio did a good job clearing the bodies out, pushing them to the corners. But Jurl, that's as good as a corner gets, especially in Phoenix.
Isan Sako, heels on the touchline, near right side. And Sako touched it last. Well defended by Luke Hawkinson. It was right in front of our vantage point, high here at midfield, Kevin Cardes. You didn't like it.
No, that's last off San Antonio.
They've got the throw. Regardless of Kevin's thoughts, the referee crew always final. Maybe even my thoughts, too. I like to think I do have final thoughts, though. Sako, a touch. There's a player down on the ground. It's Alexi Swahi, who's San Antonio center back. He came into a colliding point with Remy Cabral of Rising. A stop-start beginning to this game. And it will will be a foul, according to the referee, Greg Dopka. So San Antonio will have a free kick, maybe 5 paces inside their own half, 7 or 8 paces in from the left touchline. So a chance for Medranda, driving one long, looking for the run of Hernandez, misjudged by Smith, and it's a corner kick for San Antonio. That's a point to note for Phoenix. They've got one natural center back left available for this team, and it is in the form of an 18-year-old in Braxton Montgomery, who's 5'9". They are playing a natural right back in center back in Colin Smith. 13th minute, a set-piece opportunity for San Antonio, looking to strike first in this matinee. Jorge Hernandez, the number 10, will take it. An outswinging ball on his left. Hernandez drives one, first post, flicked along. Okello heads away for Phoenix. Will it be kept alive by Osorio? No, he'll leave it for a throw. San Antonio will keep possession into the attacking third. Rotating numbers around to give them some support on the right side. This team that have begun the season 4 wins from 4. And behind, Aguadello could not get a touch, then he gets a late one. A lazy cross inside the 6 claimed by the Canadian goalkeeper Tristan Henry.
It's important to note, too, that Braxton Montgomery really wasn't a natural center back before this year either. Played left back and right back at different points in his career through the academy. He's really not a tried and true center back himself. He's still figuring it out.
Harvey Neville a touch just outside the box, inviting San Antonio pressure. Henry gets it, he's pressured. Montgomery now has it, he's lifted it long. It's a beautiful ball. It's misjudged by Osorio off the right of San Antonio, and then missed as well by Damian Rivera, courtesy of, again, that 18-year-old Braxton Montgomery. Good little player. A Northern Illinois commit to play college Division I soccer. There's chatter in and around this Phoenix Rising franchise of a potential offering of a professional contract for the team. He would be the second academy player to receive said contract this year. Jamison Pings on the bench for Phoenix Rising. Long ball over the top. Okello claimed off the hop and into the gloves of San Antonio's Richard Sanchez. Starting this game off, quarter of an hour into it. 61% of the ball at the feet of the home side.
It's a shift in ideology maybe for Rising. They've been apt to just sort of play in their moments, but also sit back this 4-4-2 formation in defense, sitting very firm, and they're okay with holding that in too, letting those balls go long. You saw Braxton try to find Damian with a very good overlapping ball over to Damian Rivera. Wasn't quite there, but they're probably going to do that more tonight, especially as they're shorthanded.
A style that can somewhat, as Sanchez has the ball in his own 18, manufacture some grit. When you've got to sit, you've got to be defending, you've got to stay disciplined. 4-4-2 can do that for you. Swahi in behind towards Neville. Left out. The wind just took that ball. It died and it swerved left and over the touchline.
Feels like we're at 30th in Washington at this point right now.
It's a less open facility than Phoenix Rising's home stadium here at Toyota Field. Wind is blowing the direction of Rising right now, but it is of a swirling variety. Back for Colin Smith in his own defensive portion. He's at the end line. He's tucked his way beyond. He's lifted long, and it's one high by Medranda. Cut out now, Margarita. Skierson a duel. He lost it. Medranda, Hernandez wide. Heels on the left touchline on his left. Looking back, passing back. Won by Cabral. Phoenix hoping to break. They might have numbers if Sacco makes the right decision. Whip wide for the number 7 of Phoenix, Margarita. Juro Margarita dances into the body of Swahi. Margarita back heel for Neville. Phoenix now in the attacking third. Margarita drives his way through, left-footed cross, low and cleared away by Swahi. Now in behind, Hawkinson searching for Aguadello, battling with Smith. 16th minute, 0-0. Aguadello into the 18 for Hernandez, defended by Montgomery. At the byline, Hernandez trucking back, and Aguadello on the physical battle with Neville. Still with San Antonio, left side, attacking third. And Jorge Hernandez wanted support, doesn't get it, and he's got to go backwards for Jimmy Medranda. Looking for room is Medranda, similar space that he scored his goal last week. And now a ball at the feet of Lucio Beron. All 10 white shirts in the attacking half. San Antonio just looking to displace the away side. Croniele, Osorio, Soto, and back he goes for Sanchez. That's a good hold from Phoenix Rising. You can hear the crowd booming, bringing their team onward. Ball sits up in behind for Hawkinson. Neville will get there first for Phoenix. And he'll dish back to his goalkeeper.
Braxton Montgomery, who's been charged with handling the 6'1" frame of Juan Agudelo, who was no stranger to scoring against Rising. Just last year, scored his first ever brace against Phoenix in this stadium. Braxton's done a pretty good job and put a shoulder and an arm right into the back of Juan as he crashed into the box and looked to get a shot on the goal. They were inside the 18-yard box. Instead, Braxton Montgomery wards him off, avoids pushing him to the ground, no penalty shout, no extracurricular contact, and Juan had to reset the entire piece and move the ball to the back line and completely shut down the transitional opportunity. It's those moments that you see Braxton sort of light up. It's so creative.
18th minute, 0-0, Phoenix a throw. Agudelo's got to be the biggest 6'1" guy I've ever seen. Quayshow heels on the touchline, left side, hounded by LaCava. Quayshow looking to spin free. He can't quite do so. Run high by San Antonio. Still battling is Quayshow, and winning back is Hernandez. Hernandez in behind, defended by Skeers, taken to ground by Skeers. No whistle, says Greg Dobka. And JP Skeers will lift it off for Montgomery. Remy Cabral can't win the 50-50, and it's all the way back to the feet of Richard Sanchez. Soto spinning, searching, and dropping back into his own half before finding his goalkeeper again. It's a bailout. Phoenix selecting not to pressure too deep. 19th, Medranda on the touch. Looking back on the left side, and he has Swahi. And Sanchez again inside his own 6. Kronielek. Sanchez. 2 sturdy blocks of 4, spearheaded by a pair up front for Phoenix. San Antonio building in a rather traditional shape to my eyes, it appears, Kev.
Yeah, I mean, just trying to find the moment, and they have. They've broken that final third a few times.
Medranda over the top, a choice for Henry, left for Hawkinson. Luke Hawkinson to the back post. Agudelo up for the header, missed it. Just a whisker high. It went over the end line for a goal kick. A long ball over the top. Medranda found a Hawkinson, and Agudelo couldn't quite find it at the back post, but San Antonio starting to assert themselves further up the pitch. 65% of the ball as we enter the 20th minute.
Hello, there it is. I mean, they're going to build, and then they're going to find that long line-breaking ball, and when they get moving so fast, so strong, and if that ball is just 2 inches lower, it's on the forehead of Juan Agudelo, and it's probably in the net. Tristan Henry caught a little bit off his line there. He was all the way on the far post. Juan was on the near.
Skeers couldn't win it. Medranda could for San Antonio. So much space for Jorge Hernandez. And in behind he went for Agudelo, who wasn't quite ready to run. And Quayshow will see it out for a Phoenix goal kick.
I like that run from Emi Quayshow, just to let it go out. I mean, it's natural soccer instinct, but giving Rising an opportunity to take a deep breath and sit on their back heels in possession to find and pick apart a ball or a line or a run of play that can give them the opportunity to break into the final third in a more natural sense that's not on the counter is going to be really key to actually scoring a goal that they earn in this contest.
Montgomery with the ball off the goal kick. Quayshow whipped into a wide space. Damian Rivera. And back he goes again for his left back, Emil Quayshow. Start for him. He missed the last game against Monterey Bay and made the start against Rhode Island, his first of the year. Came off in the 34th minute with an injury. Noble Okello's long legs could not stretch to keep it. It's another turnover from Phoenix. So right now, if we were to, make any kind of analogy to this, San Antonio playing as the aggressor in this game, much like Houston was at the end of last night's Final Four clash with Duke. What a game that was.
Oh, yeah.
It was here in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome. The center of the American sporting world. Final Four. I think there's a golf tournament going on here this weekend.
The golf is here.
The golf. 22nd minute. San Antonio on it with Lucio Berron dropping deep. The Argentine whipping wide for Kronielek. Kronielek up over the top. A run from Osorio. Defending is Quayshow. Aggressive as ever or both. You've seen Rising have a throw right in front of the Toyota tailgate section. The supporters' corner for this San Antonio FC side. Again, 4 wins from 4 to begin the year. A year after winning just 10 times across the 34-game regular season. 10, 15, and 9. 9th in the Western Conference. They were the side that Phoenix pipped for a playoff position last year. And here they come forward. Laid along for Soto and dropped back for Hernandez. Deft ball into the 6. Neville left it for Henry, and Tristan Henry's letting Harvey Neville hear that one. Didn't like the communication to the Canadian.
I saw a smile on Tristan's face. I thought that he liked that. Left it there for Tristan to hold and control. It was a little close, but that collision in front of Tristan, he had more than enough time to find it.
Must have a bright, beaming smile for you to have seen it from here.
He does. Awesome smile Tristan Henry has. Look at how tucked Harvey Neville is now in possession.
Smith
playing the left.
Skipping a line. Margarita leaving it. Cabral chasing, and Croniele's gone to the left. And Cabral with great pressure. He works his way back. San Antonio have a throw. They play quickly. Hernandez, Medranda, Hernandez. The LA native Jorge Hernandez taken off the ball by Skeers, kept alive by Margarita. And no, says Brian Marshall, the near side assistant. So it's a throw for San Antonio. Pamadou Ka on the edge of his technical area, urging, ushering, moving. Margarita left for Sacco. Sacco for Okello. Phoenix can rush. 4-on-4. Pushed wide for Rivera. First touch high into the air. Second touch settled wide. It went off the leg of Juan Sebastian Osorio. No! Damian Rivera left that ball thinking it had touched Osorio. Instead, it touched him last. So it's a San Antonio throw. 24th minute. 0-0 game. We've seen 2 shots, both of them Phoenix's. Skeers won the header. Soto cleared. Agudelo collecting. Just shy of midfield. Pushed wide. Hawkinson, a foot race. Neville wins it. He had a 5-pace head start. Goalkeeper is Henry in his own 18. And Braxton Montgomery, one of 4 academy players in today's matchday squad for Phoenix. Ball over the top. Cueto, Sanchez heads. Back for Sacco. Phoenix will collect it. On the right side, Isan Sacco. Cutting back onto his right. Pushing into the box for Margarita. Margarita tried to lay it off again for Sacco. Phoenix can't quite capitalize. Lifted along Medranda, and that's right towards the feet of Pamadou Ka. Phoenix's manager, a little ball roll, a little swivel out. He's found Harvey Neville. Let's play.
Good pass from Pa to find his right back. I think that's an important distinction for Harvey. Hasn't been able to play his natural position all year long. Finally slots in on the right, and he looks more comfortable doing it. That pass from Jurl had a little more weight on it to Sacco. That's a good shot on goal. Instead, left it a little weak. Off that back heel, just didn't get enough cleat on it. The boot slipped over. Not enough weight.
Phoenix in possession. Sacco a little late maybe to make the run as well.
Yeah, maybe a little weight, but that pass was really weak. There was like maybe a half second of space there for Sacco to get there. He'd have to run really, really fast to make that one.
Tristan Henry turns it over on a long ball. He was looking for Cueto. Noble Okello hated to see it. San Antonio win a free possession, and they recycle it all the way back for Croniele. Sanchez. God, he's had so much of the ball. Medranda, he's probably had the second most touches today. Hawkinson, Hernandez, Hawkinson, Hernandez. A beautiful 1-2 game as Hernandez slings it wide right. Here's room for LaCava. Jake LaCava driving, striking, and it's blocked away by Okello. Kept by San Antonio just outside the 18, and now all the way back for Lucio Barón. 26th minute, still scoreless. First real chance that San Antonio has had of threat. Soto, wide again, right side Osorio, head up, crossing in, blocked away off the body of Cueto, and a corner kick coming for the home side.
What a move for Okello to just stand up that shot 2 feet to the ground. We saw that one in preseason, although not against the ball, against the body. You know what his frame can do when it gets in front of any object. That time pushes the ball all the way out. You want to see Phoenix win it back, but instead block the shot. Now they have to defend a corner. Set pieces, the theme all year long. Can they hold firm?
Far side, left-footed in-swinging ball from the creative Jorge Hernandez. 24 years old, a USL Championship success story. He's gone to Europe and returned for more. Sanchez skipping, top of the 18. Medranda strikes. Osorio kept it alive. Ball in the air. Osorio never jumped. And Quayshow has it. He can't clear. Sacco can't yet. And Lucio Barron has won it back for San Antonio. There were shouts for handball in that situation. But Greg Dobka, the center referee, would not give it. San Antonio's got possession in the 28th. Long they go. Sanchez, goalkeeper to goalkeeper, high pointed by Henry. Neville on the right. Phoenix's right back, looking long and looking high, and that will hold up nicely for Margarita. Margarita, what a challenge, Medranda. Perfectly timed from the elder statesman of this San Antonio back line. Jimmy Medranda, he's got the ball, he's driving forward. Jorge Hernandez, and he dribbles it out of touch. It's a throw in for Phoenix. So for Hernandez, again, 24 years old, a man born in Mexico. He grew up in the LA area, was trained by current AV Alta head coach Brian Kleiben. Played so well for LA Galaxy 2 in this very league a few years back, a 3-time All-League first-team selection, Hernandez. He went off to Belgium, played for first division side Mechelen, and returned to San Antonio, where he has made the last 2 USL Championship Team of the Year squads. He's off to a good start here this year. He's got 2 goals. He's 4th in the league in chances created. He expects to be the best number 10 in this division. Long restart to check on him. And Remy Cabral is ripped in behind. He's fouled by Swahi. And he's won a free kick on that throw-in restart. That will give Phoenix the ball probably 27 or so yards, maybe 30. We'll just round up. Seems safer, Kevin. 30 yards out from goal, maybe 5 yards from the near right touchline. So this will be a crossing opportunity with the wind at their back for the in-swinging left foot of Emil Quayshow. 2 taped wrists, wreathed in white for the man in the red, Emil Quayshow. Margarita is there as well. A 2-man wall for San Antonio as they set their blockade at the top of the 18. Sanchez will have to be proactive in this instance. Half an hour into this game, scoreless so far from Toyota Field. A Sunday matinee, Phoenix looking to strike first for the first time in 2025. They rev up, and Quayshow takes, and Quayshow can't put it in. It sticks around, and it's cleared by Swahi. All the way out for a Phoenix throw. Man couldn't make the catch out there. We had a fan who was loose in the concourse.
No, the fan lost his popcorn. The ball went right into the bucket, almost managed to pull it down. Popcorn all over the floor. If Rising want to score, they need to test Richard Sanchez. By all accounts, his season in 2023, the only other in his 5 years in the USL Championship, where he started the majority of the matches, is the 5th worst in USL Championship history.
Touch for Margarita, taken off the ball by LaCava, but Margarita won it back. Wide for Harvey Neville. Nowhere to go, but backwards. And Colin Smith has a touch. Just inside the midfield line. Neville, heavy touch. Looking, Skeers, Smith. Good stuff from Phoenix. Skeers again. Center of the park, turns away, and lasers a ball along the ground for Quayshow. Just a shade under 15 minutes to play. Wide for Rivera, first half. Damian ducking onto his right, lifting to the byline for Quayshow, cutting back for Margarita, headed away Medranda, and further cleared by Hernandez. Colin Smith a touch. Phoenix now being proactive. Neville, Harvey Neville will look to whip one in for Sacco, whose touch was just a little off place. Wasn't the greatest ball in the world from Harvey Neville, and Juan Agudelo fouled Colin Smith. Phoenix get a free kick as San Antonio tried to break free. Agudelo thought it was a mutual operation, and Agudelo, he wins that ball fairly, and Skeers fouls Agudelo, and there we go. Juan Agudelo finally wins the free kick he wanted. Margarita's upset. He's yelling at Skeers. That's the Phoenix captain, upset with his side, and Greg Dobka with stuff to sort.
Agudelo's jersey might get ripped off his chest. Colin Smith absolutely had a handful of that white Viva Night jersey in Instead, Colin Smith's wrist get grabbed, he gets thrown to the ground, and then it happens again. On holding his jersey, trying to show the official look, the neck is stretching. It's being just pulled off of me, gets the foul awarded on the second go-around.
They call it the Viva Night kit?
It's Viva Night today, it's the Viva kit. The red and black one that they employ as their main is the Rio kit.
I love the marketing ploys of kit names. LaCava, he's got it. He's lifted it in behind for Aguadelo. Defended by Montgomery. Aguadelo skipping away, and Harvey Neville came in clutch. That's a foul. It's late. It's from Medranda. It's a Phoenix free kick in their own defensive third. 33rd minute, 0-0.
Just more brilliance from Braxton Montgomery, being in the right place at the right time and being just physical enough to push guys off their line who are certainly bigger than him, playing against grown men, championship level professionals, 18 years old, just committed to college, and he is working for everything that comes his way. He's been fantastic through the first half.
We had the chance to talk to Pamadou Ka at the midweek. Asked him about Montgomery and how he's had to step up, and kind of hinted at the fact that, hey, is there a professional contract that he could sign in the future? The assumption was that he would be gone in the summer to go to college, go to Northern Illinois, and Ka gave a wry smile and said, we'll see. So we will see. Okello over the top for Phoenix, and then he misses the ball after he got it again. Hernandez ducks away from Montgomery. Jorge Hernandez, one high by Okello, but not before Braxton Montgomery intervened and tripped through Jorge Hernandez. The Phoenix break broken up by a foul. It's a free kick for San Antonio.
I can't tell if this is better for Phoenix or worse. No real quality chances on net, but you haven't conceded. No first punch for either way. I don't know which one you take.
A combined expected goals in the 34th minute of 0.3 for each team together.
Quality.
A flawed statistic in nature, but that does yield a game that has lacked creativity. Montgomery for Quayshow, went skyward. Ball wide, Rivera, can he keep it in touch? Yes. Rivera, it's 4-on-5. Rivera looking for options. Rivera run over. And a corner kick is won for Phoenix in the 35th. Damian Rivera has been a live wire, carrying the ball out on the left side for Phoenix Rising.
Didn't touch the pitch last week against Monterey, sat on the bench. Some questions as to whether he was hurt or not, but he was available for selection, didn't make an appearance. To me, he's just held the ball a little too long, both of the times he's made those daring runs.
Yeah.
Find a cross.
To be taken by Margarita. Two hands out to his hips, he plays it short. Quayshow looking for help. Quayshow skipping in, headed away Medranda, and left for another Phoenix throw in the attacking third. Far side, left side. So Phoenix side, we mentioned Rivera's success on the left at times. In this game so far, they love their wingers to dribble. They want them to. Both their guys today, Rivera and Margarita, in the top 5 in the championship in dribbles per 90. Aguadelo won it deep. Margarita won it back. He's been inspired in the press today. Montgomery and Neville. And Harvey Neville, will anybody help? The answer is yes. It's in the form of Isan Sako. Lost it out to Medranda. Smith will sweep it up. And again, Phoenix, the intent here to play slow. They do not immediately restart this throw, and I think in the past you would have seen Colin Smith pick that up and move it along quickly. He left it 36th.
Perhaps the war of attrition is on. A thin bench at best. Trying to find every opportunity. Let the game come to you when you're attacking. If you're going to counter press and you're going to be up in San Antonio and you're going to push all of your force on them when you're sitting in that 4-4-2 defensive formation, let the game come to you when you're attacking. That's why they're not going to go quick. They're going to try to get everyone out on that pitch as long as they can.
Sako skiers and cleared away by Lucio Beron. Only as far as Quayshow, a heavy touch into the attacking portion, a coming together. Whose ball? San Antonio's. It's a throw-in.
That ball probably called off the direction it took. Emi Quayshow came in from the left. San Antonio comes in from the right. The ball skirts out from Emi Quayshow's direction. Yeah, sure, it's off him last.
Montgomery won the header. Skierce won the second. Aguadelo chests down the third and looks wide. He's brought to the floor. He won't get a foul. Neville for Phoenix, and then Smith. Okello here. And they will recycle possession. Harvey to Smith to Montgomery again. The substitutes for both sides for Phoenix. Backup goalkeeper Patrick Rakowski, Mohamed Traore, Hope Avayevu, Darnell King, Darius Johnson, Darius Formella. Ball over the top, swept up by Sanchez of San Antonio. And then the academy kids, Cyrus Coal, Jamison Ping, and Pierce Rizzo. Skipping a line for Hernandez. San Antonio venturing towards the midfield line. Barron, a touch in the center circle, wrapped away by Okello, and a caution. Out of the book of Greb Dopka comes the first yellow card of the afternoon. It comes to the big Canadian Noble Okello for Phoenix. For San Antonio, Nelson Flores Blanco, Nicky Hernandez, Alex Grieve, Reese Buckmaster, Luis Paredes, Sebastian Seiderle, and Diogo Pacheco. The field substitutes, Daniel Nomani, the reserve goalkeeper. 7 to play first half. Free kick just inside the midfield stripe for San Antonio. Looking to attack and probe. Play short. Off the reset. Swahi, Soto. Swahi again. Medranda flicks it beyond Neville. That's good stuff. Won by Phoenix though, and they could break. Cabral is offside. Nissan Sacco just got the ball a little slow, turned, took a touch, and played Cabral a step late. This is great, Kevin. That was right down our eyesight. You could see he was offside by a mile.
Not even close. And I think Jurl knew that. Jurl, the most inspired, like you said, screaming and yelling after it. He just wants one thing to go right now.
Quayshow brings a man down. Aguadillo hyping his team up. It's a free kick for the Alamo City boys. Kronielek. Osorio wide. LaCava starting with his heels on the line, driving a ball in, chested backwards. Neville, and claimed by Tristan Henry. Braxton Montgomery. Kevin, is the eye test going to back this claim up? The possession has hardly evened out. It's still 58-42 in shade of San Antonio. Feels like Rising have had the bulk of the ball over the last couple of moments. Long ball over the top from Smith. Chasing is Cabral. Collecting is Sanchez.
I would argue that the eye test backs it. I think that Rising have had a little bit more of the ball over the last 5 or so minutes, but not the share for the entire match. San Antonio much more prone to sit, hold, and wait. Rising are doing that a little bit more. The slow build coming, not as many long balls, but they're committing those fouls that have turned over their counter press, and instead giving San Antonio more opportunities just to restart, pick the ball back up, and kick it back and forth. Center back to center back to goalkeeper, over and over until they find that moment of brilliance that'll score their goal.
Each team with 2 shots. San Antonio, the lone shot on target. Ball over the top for Hawkinson. Henry has to dive. Skeers has to clean. Skeers is fouled. So Luke Hawkinson gave a little shimmy just outside the 18. Had Henry stuck in his boots. And eventually Tristan Henry decides, screw it, I'm going to step outside of my 18 and headed away. Did not get good contact. Luckily for him, JP Skeers was there to clean it up, and he was fouled.
Have a day, Super Tristan. That was Superman-esque. Just flew through the air. Didn't get a lot of his forehead on it, but just enough to move the ball up and out. And then JP Skeers gets the foul called on him. Man, that was just a last-minute gutsy call. Hey, I just got to throw myself at it.
What Superman did you grow up watching? He got a half a step off the ground?
Yeah, half a step more than anyone else. Put the forehead to the ball.
Almir Soto, now Lucio Barron, and now pushed forward LaCava, cut out by Smith. Colin Smith. Could he drive here? The answer, yes, but he's now run into the wall of Barron. Hernandez inviting the pressure. Back for Neville, 42nd, scoreless. Okello whipping wide across the center circle for Quayshow. Driving forward in the half space, Emil Quayshow off the left. And now for Rivera, 1v1, skipping low, crossing high, too far. Goal kick.
Damian trying to do it all on his own. I keep asking, find the cross, and it's not because he doesn't have the ability to put one in the net himself. You had 4 bodies in the box besides yourself. Go find the head, the chest, or the left and right foot of one of your teammates. You have a negative angle on the near post, and you're going to put it all the way up and over.
3 minutes and change to play in the first half. Should see 3 or so minutes of stoppage time. Swahi. Sanchez. A touch to the penalty spot. And wide it went for Kronielek. And again for Swahi, who has looked the part in replacement of Mitchell Tainter today.
He hasn't been tested very much either.
Kronielek keeping it for San Antonio. They continue to have the ball. Sanchez. Carlos Llamosa directing traffic. The manager, it's a mistake from Swahi. And Margaritas pounced to Cabral. Cabral makes a cut. Here's Remy Cabral, a strong block. And Alexi Swahi made up for his mistake. He took too many touches. He turned it away, and Phoenix couldn't capitalize on a break. A great block off the strong right foot of Alexi Swahi.
That was who Remy Cabral was in 2024. A step too many inside the box. It was the problem that plagued him the entire time, and you see it happen again there. High quality shot goes into an okay chance.
Quaisho ducking towards the byline, crossing to the back post, putting Madronda under pressure. That's a fine header. Back to the hands of his goalkeeper by Jimmy Madronda, and then he immediately burst forward to start the play. Cabral did have the goal last week for Phoenix in that 3-1 loss. Scored a tidy one in the first half to make it 1-1 before the things went unraveled for Phoenix in the second half. 2 red cards inside 10 minutes of the second half had them just rolling in their grave on the road seaside in Monterrey. 44th. Swahi, Madronda, 0-0 game. Madronda whip wide, touch for Hawkinson. Looking for room and has support in Hernandez on his left side. Hernandez drives a curling ball towards the back post, corralled by Quaisho and cleared off the backside of Jake LaCava. A look to the 4th official and William Hale. Come on, Kevin, 3 or 4?
Give me 3.
I'll take 4. We'll have to wait for it. They still haven't grabbed the video board. Phoenix a throw in their own third. Defensively, they play it to the feet of Sacco. I think we're going to be way off here. You want to change your guess?
I think I saw a 1 flash on the board.
Feels short. Cabral into the high sky of this afternoon in San Antonio. Misstep by Swahi. Rivera pursuing and Rivera fouling. So a couple of more ticks. San Antonio will surely milk the clock for the final chance of this opening 45 minutes from Toyota Field.
We'll see how much time they have left. 1 opportunity to get that counter punch.
It will be 1 minute. Lifted over the top by Madronda. Chasing is Aguadello. He was offside.
Maybe it's Phoenix's last chance.
They will leave it for Tristan Henry. Margarita was not happy. Henry will wait. We've got 30 seconds or so left to the minimum. In his dark green kit, the goalkeeper, white gloves, orange boots, right-footed ball, lifted up. Margarita's going to try and rise for it. Couldn't get a touch. Madronda driving over the top. Corralled by Montgomery. Braxton facing, playing. He's got Quaisho. Quaisho in behind. It's a good ball if it holds for Rivera. It just won't. And that'll probably do it. 2 whistles from Greg Dopka. 45 down from Toyota Field. It's been a tie of very few clear-cut chances, Kevin Cardenas.
Sort of business as usual for San Antonio. It's just a weird first half team through the first month. Not bad in the first 45, not great either, often finding their stride towards the very end. Halftime adjusted to the name of the game. Phoenix holding on, and I think I asked the question earlier, is this better than getting scored on and then being able to punch back off that intensity that erupts from that first goal. I think this is definitely better because now Pa has an opportunity to go to the locker room and make his changes. So apt at halftime to do what he does best, which is rearrange, reorganize, and use his slightly deeper bench this time to figure out what they're going to do.
And that's the fun part. Both these teams, the kings of adjustments so far through the first month of the USL Championship season. Scoreless at the break from Toyota Field. We'll come back with the halftime report here on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network and today on Sirius XM Channel 157. You're listening to Rising Radio, home of the 2023 USL Champions.
Bliss and a burst of red smoke. Phoenix Rising, our home. Welcome to 38th and Washington.
Stick around for more as our broadcast continues.
Buying a house can seem almost impossible, especially today. But with the right agent in your corner, it makes the challenge seem effortless. Hi, I'm Connor Cochran with Good Oak Real Estate, your go-to agent in the Valley. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Because finding the perfect home shouldn't be stressful, it should be exciting. Call 480-688-3200 today. Again, that's 480-688-3200. Let's have the conversation.
Hey Phoenix Rising fans, this is Discount Tire, your hometown tire retailer and trusted partner on the road for over 65 years. We know it can be overwhelming when buying tires, but we're here to help. Our online tire buying guide, Treadwell, makes finding the right tires simple. Just plug in your vehicle, location, and driving habits, and Treadwell will give you unbiased, personalized recommendations based on your needs, not based on price. Inviting, easy, and safe. Just how tire buying should be. Shop tires with Treadwell at discounttire.com. Let's get you taken care of.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
We're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that our daughters have what they need to grow and learn. But that isn't the case for nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. that struggle with hunger.
Childhood hunger is a heartbreaking reality that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and provides it to families and children in need.
You can help kids in need in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
There you go. It's okay.
Now we go back to the field to break down the first half action with the Rising Radio halftime report on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
Back for halftime here in San Antonio. Ryan Sikora, Kevin Cardez. Phoenix 0, San Antonio 0. That's pretty much the game. There has been nothing to it.
I mean, it's not that there hasn't been anything to it, it's that both offenses have been as stagnant as one may have expected for San Antonio, a team that loves to break and find their moments off of the mistakes of another, and yet for Phoenix, so oddly stagnant in the sense that they just never got going. Now, you get that they're shorthanded. They're sort of playing a weird out-of-formation slot where Pa's kind of experimenting with new people, and now Harvey's back as right back, and he's got no center backs that are natural besides Braxton, who's not really a natural center back, and everything's just kind of messy. So it's understandable, but no real quality chance from either team. No real opportunity where, we could have had that one, or that was a big one. It felt like even despite all of that, San Antonio was still the aggressor through the first 45, although Phoenix sort of stabilized in the last 15-20 minutes.
You came in with the mindset that San Antonio FC was a good side that was built on the intensity and the grit. They played their way through this Phoenix Rising team at times, though, today.
Yeah, and I think Phoenix is a team that also prides itself on its, intensity and grit. And what I meant when I said that, San Antonio finds itself in that is that they're just so fierce, right? And you can see that specifically in the first 15 or 20 when they were winning every 50-50. Every ball that was up in the air, every one that skittered away, there was always a San Antonio player there at breakneck speed to try to win it back, and oftentimes they did. And it felt like as the 45 progressed, you saw players like Jurl actively get his side more involved for Phoenix, just very loud, very annoyed, because it felt like they weren't clicking, and as they got more annoyed, more things started to click. Then Davian was more open on the left, and then he's dribbling, and then the box is full, and now they're getting corner kicks. It's being involved, active, and connected, but also passionate that will let Phoenix flow into the game and compete at the level of San Antonio.
Those are the two wingers for Phoenix Rising, Damian Rivera and Gerald Margarita, who have been attempting to take everybody on in this game for a Phoenix Rising side that has stayed disciplined throughout the first half.
Yeah, and discipline is a really, really big thing. They picked up 2 red cards, 1 direct red card, 1 off of 2 yellows for Potmar Boy, the captain of this team. Usually, Carl Fred Saint picked up a direct red card after what was deemed violent conduct after the game was all said and done. They can't let that happen again. You only saw 1 caution come out of the pocket for Phoenix. It was Noble Akello. He picks up his. Usually a regular in the book of the officials so far through the first 4 weeks, but they need to be as patient as they have through 45 through the last, and don't let the fact that you didn't score rile you up to the point where you start doing things that are unnecessary. Extracurricular activity doesn't have a place for a team that's already down 2 to Reds.
Some subs on the bench for these teams, namely for San Antonio, the creative Diogo Pacheco. For Phoenix, they will have the opportunity to present Hope Avayevu to this national audience in the second half. Rising's number 10 has been one of the best creators in the league, so both teams have options. Who has to make more changes and play the chess game a little more aggressively of the 2 coaches?
I think if you would have told me before the game, hey, who's going to be the first sub? I'd say Mo Traore comes on, second 45, replaces and plays the true center back role, which they're missing, to survive the first 45 and get your center back out there. Now I think it's Darius Johnson. His extreme hyper press that comes off the gate, so fast, so intense, so passionate, but the first guy to every ball, he's going to try to win every duel that comes his way, every tackle that slides over to his side. Darius is so special when he's fired up, and they need that right now on the pitch.
Both teams looking for something in a 0-0 game from San Antonio, the Lone Star State in the Alamo City. Scoreless so far. Who's going to win this one? Is it going to be a second half shootout? We'll come back. We'll bring you the scores from around the league here in this match week 5 in the USL Championship, and we'll update you on the stats from this one from Toyota Field on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network. You're listening to Rising Radio, home of the 2023 USL Champions.
Blitz and a burst of red smoke. Phoenix Rising, our home. Welcome to 38th and Washington.
Stick around for more as our broadcast continues.
Buying a house can seem almost impossible, especially today. But with the right agent in your corner, it makes the challenge seem effortless. Hi, I'm Connor Cochran with Good Oak Real Estate, your go-to agent in the Valley. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Because finding the perfect home shouldn't be stressful, it should be exciting. Call 480-688-3200 today. Again, that's 480-688-3200. Let's have the conversation.
Hey Phoenix Rising fans, this is Discount Tire, your hometown tire retailer and trusted partner on the road for over 65 years. We know it can be overwhelming when buying tires, but we're here to help. Our online tire buying guide, Treadwell, makes finding the right tires simple. Just plug in your vehicle, location, and driving habits, and Treadwell will give you unbiased, personalized recommendations based on your needs, not based on price. Inviting, easy, and safe. Just how tire buying should be. Shop tires with Treadwell at discounttire.com. Let's get you taken care of.
Hi, I'm Peyton Manning, and I'm partnering with the American Red Cross this year to tackle blood shortages. Giving blood is important because every 2 seconds, someone actually needs blood. Unfortunately, only like 3 3% of the U.S. population donates. So we have to step up, give, and make sure that there's plenty of blood available for those in need. Visit redcrossblood.org, get in the game, make an appointment to give.
You are listening to the Rising Radio Halftime Report on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
So some scores from around the league in the USL Championship match week number 5. It started yesterday on Saturday, April the 5th. A scoreless 0-0 between Detroit and Monterey in Michigan. 3-0 Rhode Island finally got going on the road at the Coliseum against Oakland Roots. 2-0 Loudoun over a hapless Hartford side. A 2-1 Charleston battery win over Tampa Bay Rowdies. Cal Jennings scoring against his former side to win it for Charleston. 2-2 between North Carolina and Indy 11. North Carolina continued to be strong. A 93rd minute equalizer from center back and hometown kid Connor Donovan. El Paso get another win. It was a 2-assist day for former Phoenix Rising man Gabriel Torres as they beat Lexington at home. 1-1 between Sacramento and Louisville City. 99th minute winner or equalizer from Amadou Dia for Louisville City, and Las Vegas dropped Orange County 1-0. Knight Pickering scored in the 94th. The theme with all of those, late goals, late fun, late drama. You get that a lot in the USL Championship. A scoreless one here so far at the half through 45 minutes. 0-0 with San Antonio holding 59% of the ball. Phoenix have 3 shots. They have 1 on target. San Antonio with 2 and none on target. The other key stats for this one, there aren't really many. San Antonio's played more passes with more possession. They've won more duels. Rising have 1 player in the books. That's Noble Akello. We will step aside for 60 seconds. This has been the Rising Radio Halftime Report on Sirius XM. FC will come back in the second half after this. You're listening to Rising Radio, home of the 2023 USL Champions.
Blitz and a burst of red smoke. Phoenix Rising, our home. Welcome to 38th and Washington.
Stick around for more as our broadcast continues.
Buying a house can seem almost impossible, especially today. But with the right agent in your corner, it makes the challenge seem effortless. Hi, I'm Connor Cochran with Good Oak Real Estate, your go-to agent in the Valley. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Because finding the perfect home shouldn't be stressful, it should be exciting. Call 480-688-3200 today. Again, that's 480-688-3200. Let's have the conversation.
Let's get into the action. Phoenix Rising Soccer, live now on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
So 45 down and 45 to go from Toyota Field in Texas. San Antonio FC on a perfect start to the season. 4-0-0, 12 points from 12, searching for a 3rd home win as we have begun the April portion of the USL Championship campaign. Phoenix Rising looking for its first 3 points of the season on the road in Texas. It'll be Phoenix who starts with the ball in the second half. As they switch sides, Rising will move right to left as San Antonio will move left to right. Ryan Sikora, Kevin Cardez here on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network. No changes for either side at the break.
Yeah, I was a little shocked, and then you kind of calmed me down at break. Hey, you want to see it for the first time? I agree, okay. I hear your point, and I see what you're saying. I think that the first one on for Phoenix is probably Mo Traore at some point coming on, maybe subbing off Harvey Neville, then you push Colin Smith out as the true right back that he is, move Braxton, keep him in the center with Mo, and then you start playing a more natural shape that you played through the first 4 weeks. I think that's the first change, and then we'll see what comes after.
Did you just say I said something smart?
I did.
Wow. Hope Aviavu on the bench also for Phoenix. Reese Buckman Buckmaster and Diogo Pacheco are the potential starting options for Carlos Llamosa's San Antonio FC side that could come off in reserve help here. Greg Dobka, the referee, waiting to get us going. Surely waiting on some national television arrivals here this Sunday matinee here from the Alamo City. Busy week in this town. Final Four, PGA Tour, professional soccer. Whistle from Dobka, off and away we go for the second 45. Colin Smith drives the diagonal, up for Osorio. It's won by Okello, the second ball, nodded down by Sacco, and pushed all the way backwards for Emil Quaisho. Headed away by Beron, kept by Skeers, stripped by Aguadillo. The two 17s coming together in the center of the park. You wonder how much JP Skeers has in the tank. He's missed most of the season with injury. Okello down the line for Rivera on his right foot on the left side. Damian ducking, driving, beyond Osorio, a tussle, and a foul on Damian Rivera. 40 seconds in, and finally play is stopped to assess the portion of the foul. Sanchez, and for Alexi Swahi, who Kevin was fantastic in replacement of Mitch Tainter, the all-league center back in the first half.
Yeah, it feels like they haven't skipped a beat. Swahi just so firm, very fast, first to every ball, tracking back in that back two. You see him and Sanchez playing so well back and forth. They lead the entire game in accurate passes between each other and the entire match between both sides. Very connected, and it feels like they haven't missed anything.
Made the one mistake, but made up for it with a block towards the tail end of the first 45 minutes. Wide for Luke Hawkinson, running 1v1 versus Harvey Neville. Hawkinson cutting in, clipping up, deflected away, and not kept alive by Tristan Henry. It's a corner kick. So that was the signal from Brian Marshall, the near side assistant. And San Antonio have a set piece.
It's an SAFC corner.
Tristan tried to keep the ball in there, and I think the ball may have stayed, but instead the boots of Tristan went out of bounds behind his own goal.
Ball in towards the 6, headed off the line Montgomery, a scramble around and cleared away by Sacco. Kept in Madronda, turning away. Montgomery will clear. Phoenix caught sleeping on a set piece. You've heard that before if you followed Phoenix Rising this season. A ball lifted in, claimed off the line, nodded back in by Aguadillo, and then finally cleared by the teenager Braxton Montgomery as JP Skeers sits on the ground, the Phoenix Rising defensive midfielder.
A hearty challenge there. Braxton, the one to clear it out. You said it best. Phoenix caught sleeping on the set piece, and then even after they had cleared it away, it trickled back into the box dead center, and they still didn't have enough on it to clear it out.
Osorio to throw in the attacking third, the right back. Lifting up for Aguadillo, heading away, Skeers. So he's back up. That's good to see. He's dealt with some injuries to begin this season. Here's a corner kick now. 48th minute, 0-0. Hernandez will whip it in. On his left, everybody inside the 6, it seems. And Greg Dobka wants to have a conversation. And his crew working their third USL Championship game of this young season. Hernandez driving, back post, Henry reaching, Henry missing, but everybody did. And the pressure solved by Phoenix. It'll be a goal kick for the away side.
Sort of Tristan's best attribute to me in his 2 games in net that weren't in the preseason. So apt to get up and over everyone. That time it goes over his outstretched hands, like you said, goes over everyone, not a ball that anyone was going to get to. So prone to the high claim, and he's really good at it when he gets his hands there.
Ball over the top, Rivera keeping it in touch, fancy footwork, and Rivera lost it. Soto now Back for Perron, and Perron will force it all the way even further backward for Richard Sanchez. San Antonio's goalkeeper 5 minutes in to this second half. Just the lone real chance from San Antonio. Cronier, night sky. Well, not really the night sky. Bright out. Neville has to clear.
Afternoon air, maybe.
Afternoon air's good. Look at that, he's learning. Sanchez, Kevin's gonna be doing my job soon. I'm just gonna take the headset off. Kevin's gonna do it by himself at this point. He's got the wordplay. Cronier skipping the lines. Smith stepping in front. And it's laid only as far though as Almir Soto. Soto surging outward and pushing the ball into the feet now of Luke Hawkinson. Hawkinson whipping wide. Chance at the byline for Medranda to cross. Blocked off the backside of Harvey Neville.
Perhaps Harvey Neville's ascension to being of the level in the last 5 weeks is one of the most remarkable things that I've seen. Playing him out of position was one of those things where I just felt bad. Gets brought in as a depth piece, then he's starting off the other side of where he naturally plays soccer. Man, he has been so strong today, tracking back physicality, everything that you want from him.
So they've called this a foul, by the way, not a corner kick. It will serve as such. Jorge Hernandez will stand over this ball. Shadow cast behind him, a left-footed outswinging service set to come. One-man wall of Damian Rivera. Hernandez stutters. 10 or 12 bodies amongst the teams sat inside the 6. There's a scuffle at the back between Cronier and Colin Smith. That is a mismatch if I have ever seen one. The 6'5" Cronier versus Phoenix Rising's natural right back in the 5'11" Colin Smith, who is deputizing as a center half today. He's got to be the target. He's on the back post, standing just inside the 6. Again, it's Hernandez's service. Dopka blows his whistle. They play it short. Medranda from the training ground, parried away. Stays alive, falls for LaCava, who skied it. It's again a set piece that Phoenix can't quite find their footing on defensively, but San Antonio left to blunder.
One finally goes Phoenix's way, maybe the second of the afternoon. So maybe a rash statement, but man, big chance for San Antonio. Skied over the bar, nothing clicking there. You have to wonder why Noble's not the one defending that back post, but a direct shot on goal turns into an almost for San Antonio. They're knocking on the door finally. First big chance of the game.
Quaisho lifting one skyward. Neville lost it in the sun. Pressured by Hawkinson, finding the feet of Soto. 50-50, Neville couldn't win it. Medranda does. And now here's Soto again. Looking right, up over the top, running his LaCava towards the byline, crossing low, touch Hernandez, cleared away Montgomery. 18 years old, he's been borderline flawless today, Braxton Montgomery. A real gem for Phoenix Rising amidst this injury crisis. Scarce over the top for Cabral. Can't quite run it down, but Sanchez had it first. Cabral says he got knocked in the face. Dopka wants to stop play to check on a head injury, much to the chagrin of the San Antonians.
The second that whistle went off, Paul just started to scream at Jurl to come over. He's not doing what Paul wants. I wonder what they talked about at halftime, because Jurl is sort of sitting over there drifting and waiting for the ball to come his way. I think Paul wants Jurl to demand his presence in the match. Instead, he's just sort of sat over there. Now he's going to run back out. We'll see what changes. Remy Cabral maybe took an elbow to the forehead there, fell over. Now the fans are chanting at him.
It was inconspicuous as you get it on the replay. I don't really think there's anything there. 55th minute, 0-0.
It's a bad angle for us too, though. It's about the same one that we have from up here at center. I'm not too sure what happened. But he has to come off. The physio's going to check him out.
Regardless, Remy Cabral is now the most hated man within 500 miles of this stadium.
For what it's worth, that might be a pretty tall task. There's a lot of people in this city right now, and there's a lot of sports going on.
I wonder if Cooper Flagg is well liked in San Antonio.
I'd imagine.
Charles Barkley's probably pretty hated in the city, in fairness. He's in town this week. Cronier, pressured by Cabral, who's back in the game, and he's won it high. Oh, imagine if Remy had gone and won the ball and then gone and scored. They would not have been happy, these folks here. You couldn't blame them. Agudelo a touch, just underneath an hour to go, or an hour into this game. Perron spinning in the center circle. And he got past Sacco and pushed it back into the feet of Swahi. Wide for Madronda, he's got a great cross. Soto, and again for Madronda, left side, defended by Neville, pushed into the space for Hawkinson, a pair of goals on the year. Luke Hawkinson crossed in, Hernandez would have been audacious, Neville heading back. It's well done from Phoenix. And there's a man on the floor, it's the sizable frame of Juan Agudelo for San Antonio. So that will get us another chance to breathe in this game. 56th minute, still 0-0.
I think he got caught in the eye there, started smacking the ground, trying to figure out what happened, but he's in a lot of pain. I think there, Jurl gets caught in no man's land, and he just got yelled at by Pa, but he's over there on that right wing, and instead of getting involved and trying to cut off any sort of lane, he was just kind of watching the action develop, and then a back pass goes into a almost chance inside the box. Thankfully, Harvey Neville's there to head it back to Tristan Henry, but San Antonio still knocking at Jurl, not willing to get involved on the defensive end, and it's opening up the book for San Antonio in a 0-0 contest when one goal might be all you need to take home 3 points.
Still working with Agudelo, who's on 2 knees. Tristan Henry's got the ball right underneath his right armpit. Can't wait to restart play. Second start of the year for Henry. Did not find his way through into the net. The first 3 games of Phoenix's season belonged to Patrick Rakowski at that point for Rising. Henry got his first start last week in the 3-1 defeat to Monterrey. Agudelo being helped off the pitch by the physio is Jesse Lawrence.
Still holding his right eye, Ryan. I think he just got tagged, probably by his shoulder in a similar fashion if Remy did take contact in.
It's gotta hurt.
Oh.
Let's try it here. Hold your eye.
No, I'm busy right now.
No, Kevin can't see anymore. Smith.
Listeners can't see, we can't see, who can see?
Montgomery. Smith again, right side. Plays it down the line, Margarita. Jurl ducking, driving. He does this once or twice a game. He plays a poor ball in the middle. It's won by LaCava, and then it's won back by Margarita, giving away Soto. Soto forward for San Antonio. Henry got at the top of his 18, scoops it up, rolls it out. Okello, 58, 0-0. This is direct stuff from Phoenix. Over the top for Rivera, pressuring Sanchez. Into the sky, Perron couldn't really find it. He won the header as far as Quaisho, and now Quaisho down the line, playing a pass to Rivera. Damian Rivera ducking towards the 18. Rivera crossing low for Cabral. It took a deflection. It stays around. It's a point to the spot. Phoenix win a penalty kick right in the 59th minute. A beautiful sweeping move off the left from Damian Rivera. A low cross comes to the spot, and it rolls off the elbow of a San Antonio defender. A 0-0 game, but a big chance coming for the away side.
The second that happened, Remy New immediately looked to the referee, hands up in the air, and the away end had a feeling as well. Opportunity to convert from the spot, and Rising did it against 10 men. Agudelo the entire time on the touchline, waiting to go back into the match, didn't have an opportunity, and now a chance from the spot for what looks like Remy Cabral.
This is a Phoenix team that has played over 420 minutes of football this year through the beginning stages of the season and has yet to lead. they could do so against the league leaders in San Antonio. A side that they themselves flawless on the year. Remy Cabral's right foot stands over it. He has scored his last 5 penalties, mostly to the keeper's right. Cabral is 12 yards out, looking to lift the away side in front. A wall behind Richard Sanchez of San Antonio. On the hour mark, he will strike. 60 minutes played from San Antonio. Cabral versus Sanchez, Phoenix versus San Antonio. Dobka blows his whistle. Remy in red on his right foot, shutter steps, drives, and strikes into the back of the net. Phoenix Rising have the lead on the road. It is scored by Remy Cabral. It's his 3rd of the year, and Phoenix Rising have opened the event and celebrate in the corner, 1-0 to the away side.
What a penalty, what a take, and an opportunity for Phoenix that they finally convert, and now the first seconds of 2025 in which they lead a contest, let alone against the team atop of the Western Conference. Now they'll have to hold. The way the air got sucked out of this stadium was one of a kind. Everyone was banging on the metal seats that they're sitting in, and it all evaporated the moment it hit the back of the net. What a moment for Remy, what a moment for Phoenix, and now San Antonio on the chase.
And now the gutsy glory for Rising has to commence. They strike the opening chord in this contest. And San Antonio must chase once again. They've done so effectively here on this season, just this past week. Sanchez will have it. Still no changes for either side. 62nd minute. Over the top, LaCava racing in, left by Henry, stripped away, and a penalty for San Antonio. One long ball over the top, and Tristan Henry clattered in to Jake LaCava. And the physio will come, and what will the card be from Greg Dobka? Direct in nature and devastating in effect. It is a penalty mere minutes after Phoenix was awarded one of their own. San Antonio looking to strike back.
Well, we talked about the first seconds of the season, which Phoenix would lead, and it might just stay that, seconds. An instant long ball over the top, and an immediate penalty for Tristan results in a yellow card. That's what came out of the pocket of the officials, not a red.
You surprised about that?
I am. That's pretty direct. I mean, there's an arm right to the head. He's going for the ball, but he's 8 feet away from it.
So the only decision there for the referee is DOGSO, which is a denial of a clear goal-scoring opportunity. That would be a red card. So clearly Greg Dobka has believed that there was other defenders in the area that could have thwarted LaCava's effort. So Henry receives a yellow card, and San Antonio could strike for an equalizer.
Sacco and Hawkinson are getting into it now on the other side of the box, and now there's a little gathering of players in the dead center over the penalty spot. Sacco was shoving, Hawkinson was shoving. More extracurricular activity. The thing that stands out to me, Palmetto couldn't bear to watch, turned around and looked to the away end, looking up at the scoreboard as they decided what the card would be.
He's having a chat with his goalkeeping coach, Corey Robertson, right now. The ball is at the feet of Jorge Hernandez. Lightning left foot from him. He scored a penalty just last week against Lexington. Went right up the middle. Henry stands in his 6-yard box, trying to stop Hernandez from scoring again. He is 3 for his previous 5. He has spread the wealth. 64th minute, now into the 65th. Jorge Hernandez looking for his 3rd goal of 2025. Whistle blown, Henry makes himself big. Hernandez takes his time and drives it in! Hernandez to the goalkeeper's left. Henry goes the wrong way, and it's the third goal of the year for Jorge Hernandez. And we're back level again with 25 plus stoppage time to play. Carlos Llamosa's side never say die, and they responded instantly to chaos. Phoenix go long, and Phoenix win a throw. Still no changes from either side.
What an inspired strike at the spot. So strong, so low, driven right into the opposite direction of Tristan Henry. Tristan never had a chance.
Truly fitting that San Antonio's talisman, Jorge Hernandez, is the man who finds the back of the net on this national afternoon. Neville couldn't win it. Medranda does. Driving, playing. Hernandez, Medranda, 1-2. Medranda in behind for LaCava. And Henry sweeps it up with no contact this time on Jake LaCava. So now you'd wager it's who settles best from this chaotic 5 minutes, Kevin Carnes.
Yeah, who can survive the barrage? Who can let the emotions settle down and go back to playing your style of football, both of which have yielded a goal now? Dariush Formella is the one who's readying at the side. He'll check in a moment. Rising looking for a more attacking forward face.
The ball grabbed from behind by Beron. So foul. Phoenix have a free kick right at the midfield line. Played short. Quaisho looking. Misplaced pass. Ball over the top. Henry, it's awkward. He'll put it up for Okello. Flicked along. Swept up by San Antonio. Medranda in behind Hawkinson. Hawkinson dusts off Smith. Hawkinson pirouettes. Pivots backwards. Lays along LaCava. And sweeping up nicely was Noble Okello. Rivera pushes beyond the defender. And now Phoenix is 3-on-3. And here is Sacco. And Sacco wide for Margarita. And Margarita driving for some space. Striking in! 2-1! A brilliant counterattack from the away side. Gerald Margarita scores for Phoenix Rising. And that has been a fine 10 minutes of football from these two teams.
What a strike, Joel Margarita. Oh, up over top bins, he found it. Waiting for his first goal in 2025. We waited to watch him play to begin the season. We waited to watch him score through 5. He finds it and immediately Rising pull back out in front. It's what they've done best all year long. It's respond.
Margarita skims past Swahi and scores the second for the away team. It was a brilliant break, wasn't it, Kevin?
Oh, just so magnificent. That's the football that we wanted to see this year. It's what we were promised. It's what we've gotten at times. Way to respond. We asked who would survive the barrage. Phoenix says, let it be us.
And they will make the first change of this game. Dariush Formella will come in for Damian Rivera in the 69th minute.
To me, Formella going out there signals that this isn't one where they're going to park it. If they were apt to just go find a point, at one point when they were drawn up 1-1, they would have put on Mo. Still up a goal, they put on Dariush.
Cabral wanted back from Barone. Remy Cabral fouled him to do so. Bench didn't like that for Phoenix. They strike first. They strike second first. I've never said that this year for Phoenix Rising. Margarita and Cabral, it just got stuck in his feet. He's won it past Cronier. Cronier's won it high, but he's fouled Remy Cabral right in front of the San Antonio technical area. And now you'll have to see Phoenix Rising do something unfamiliar to them, which is be professional and chase no more, but instead defend. Aguadelo's on the turf for San Antonio, and Tristan Henry will get a stretch as well.
And now we find out what this team is like with a lead. We haven't seen it, and we saw it for all of 90 seconds earlier in the second half. What does this team become when they have the advantage and the rope is in their hands? Now San Antonio readies 3 substitutions, fresh legs. We'll see who can batter each other Jurl has become immediately inspired post his goal. Him and Remy working one-to-one to find their balls, find the tackle, find the duel. What can turn the tides and make this a contest in which they find a brace, not just a lead? Who can give Phoenix their first brace?
Entering the match for
Ball over the top to restart. Margarita won it high for Phoenix. They're in the attacking third. Luis Paredes has come into the game. Andres Luis Paredes. Hawkinson replaced. Osorio won it deep. LaCava turns. Hernandez navigates and is fouled by Akello, who's on a yellow card. Has to be careful. Phoenix Rising said there was simulation involved from Hernandez. He won't get that there. Alex Grieve comes in for Juan Agudelo. Day done for the Colombian. Grieve, a New Zealand international.
Number 4, Nelson Flores Blanco.
Hernandez switching play. A touch, a good one too. A strike is wide. So a triple change. About 2/3 of the way through this game for San Antonio. They are going for it. Carlos Llamosa feeling some pressure for the first time in this game.
Yeah, at one point it was they could stay undefeated, and now the clock turns back to Rising, and now it's we need to find a way to stay undefeated. Foot on the gas pedal. Who's gonna find it?
Marga couldn't win the header for Phoenix. Madronda's back in midfield. He was an inspiring choice there a week ago. Grieve, forward it went. Madronda, a good touch. The ball didn't roll his way, but he wins it back anyway. 72nd, 2-1 Phoenix. On the road in Texas. They have taken it to the league leaders. The only side to win 4 from its opening 4. Kronielek. Osorio, Hernandez, about faces, finds Akello. Noble Akello, he defends it well. And back for Kronielek, and into the body of Cabral, continued his run. Formella is forward. Phoenix are 4-on-4. Formella makes a choice late, wide for Margarita. And now Sacco into the box, wanted Cabral, did not get him. And spinning freely. Here's a run for Luis Andres Paredes. Paredes powering forward. Paredes into the 18, defended by Smith. Laid along for Grieve. And wide of the frame. It's a good counter from the home team.
I think now is when you're going to see someone come on and take JP off. JP looks a little tired. He's been out almost all year with injury. Opportunity for him to come get a little bit of a breather. He's put in a great shift through 73, but at a certain point, you know that he probably can't go that full 90. Find someone who can come on for him. He was just, the legs were dead on that run back.
Ball over the top, corralled down by Sacco, into the 18 for Remy Cabral. He stings it off the post from Cabral. It's again Isan Sacco's to create. Cut out by Cueto the other way as San Antonio broke. All the way back for Henry. The second half has been the exact opposite of the opening 45 from Toyota Field. Chaotic and back and forth. Smith fouled. It was an eager Jorge Hernandez who came through the hip of Colin Smith.
It's a good strike from Cabral, just finds the left of the woodwork off that near post. Sacco, so brilliant, asked to do so much, so many different things. Now it looks like Hope Avayevu will walk over to the table and see what he can bring, and I wonder who the substitution is for him, because at a certain point you wonder whose legs are ready to go and who has to come off. Mo also taking off his training top. We're going to see a flurry come for Phoenix.
Avayevu and Traore, the 2 West Africans for Phoenix. Mo Traore scored the goal of the year in the USL Championship. Yes, it's match day 5. I am calling it early. You can go watch it. You will also want to call it early. Hope Avayevu is a top 5 creator in the league in terms of big chances and assists through the opening month of the campaign. They will both enter in just a moment. We are into the 75th minute. Still 2-1 Phoenix. They are tending to I believe, J.P. Skeers. San Antonio huddled up in the middle of the pitch, all 11 players, taking time to regroup. Phoenix grabbing water, taking a breather. Traore Aveyevu receiving final instruction from Vikram Virk, Phoenix's primary assistant. And it is Traore who will come in for Skeers. And it is Aveyevu who will come in for Harvey Neville. So Kevin, you make of that what you will.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they shifted to a back three here. I'm not too sure. I think that there's a chance where they get more possessive, but Mo comes on, Harvey comes off. You watch Mo and Braxton pair up as their center back tandem. Embiid goes out to the left. Collins probably going to play his natural position as a right back. We'll see who tucks in. Maybe it's Quayshow now, or maybe they'll push Collins they have in the previous four, but that back four stays sturdy unless they feel like they're going to chase. Hope Aveyevu comes on. Can he create a chance? So many questions. Ryan, I ask you this. Do you think that they revert to the style that they have played in the first four, or have they found lightning that they're going to stick to here in match week 5?
You know, you've got a 2-1 lead with 14 minutes left. They've not necessarily been negative today, Phoenix. You wonder, they probably stick with it. 77th minute. A goal advantage for the away side, Phoenix Rising. Lumped long from Henry. Headed high into the air by Smith, out for a throw. Hernandez playing quick, throwing long, Grieve in behind. Traore's first action is a dual win. And now for Smith, naturally a right back, he drives forward and wins the throw. It does appear that that's the shape. They've tossed Montgomery off to the right. Traore, the center back partner to him on the left, with Quayshow and Smith, a midfield pair of Aveyevu and Akello. Flicking onward. Not winning was Sacco, spinning out of trouble, Madronda. Sacco couldn't get there. Hernandez with a touch, and now room to run. Space for LaCava, pressured by Margarita. Margarita did well, Aveyevu did even better, and what a foul.
That's what Hope does best. You talk about how he's top 5 in the league in big chance creation, and man, so creative through that midfield, but boy, can he win a duel. I mean, standing there 5'6", a complete invert from Noble Akello's right side of the bench, 6'5", and they just work in complete connection together. Hope, what an effort right outside of the box. You have to be daring to do that, and they scoot it away.
San Antonio win the 50-50. Second ball swept up by Akello. Driving now is Sacco, supported by Formella. Sacco striking for goal. Tame and low for Sanchez. They were 6'5" and 5'6". That's a good note. Madronda lifting over the top. The run of Paredes. He's onside. He's got support in the area. Paredes by the byline, cutting onto his right, flicking to the back, heading away Traore. And all the way back goes San Antonio in those bright white kits, searching for an equalizer here at Toyota Field. Madronda in the space, center of the park, pushed wide. Paredes again. He's been allowed the freedom to roam and drive. He's driving here. He's taking on Smith. He's crossing low. It's cleared away by Traore. Gets his group up with him. Stumbling and taking advantage is Sacco. Ripped from behind. Ripped from behind. Advantage was played for a moment before a caution comes out for Nelson Flores Blanco, one of the substitutes. San Antonio with a player in the book now.
So frustrating for Nino there, trying to break, and San Antonio knows what the plan is now. Take that yellow, grab his jersey, don't let him break. Sacco doesn't have an opportunity to burst in there, but man, Ryan, does it feel so nice to have a center back out there. Immediately Mo gets to work. I think he already has 3 clearances in the 3 minutes that he's played. It's just so pivotal to have your guys out there. And you felt his absence through the first 80 minutes of the game.
Phoenix missing Alex Araneda and Casey Walls, 2 backup defenders, and Potmore Boy, their captain. Jake LaCava through midfield as San Antonio turn Rising over and into a wide space. This is Grieve, the striker on the right. Grieve crossing and blocking is Quayshow for Phoenix Rising. The story of last season for Phoenix was not enough. The story for San Antonio last season, quite the same. to start the year. It's been the same story for Rising, but for the Alamo City Club, they've been high-flying. Grieve, LaCava, Hernandez, great stuff. Cleared away Traore, bounces for Medranda. And struck well high and well wide, but it had some sting to it. And Gerald Margarita is in a heap on the touchline on the near side. Darius Johnson is readying for Phoenix Rising.
That might have been the natural substitution coming here anyways, but Gerald takes a ball to his groin. That one's gonna sting. He went down immediately as that contact came in, but Medranda, a hard shot. It was up and over the bar, but for a moment you thought it had a chance.
This would be the last change for Phoenix Rising, their third moment. Started with Formella. They made the double change. And now Johnson readying. That would leave the Academy kids and the not-so-Academy kid in Darnell King sat on the bench. King not even prepared to come into this game. 34 years old, quite a story that was last week. Was never announced as a 25-day contract, but he was put onto the roster via that 25-day contract that leaves him eligible through the next game for Phoenix Rising, the home match against Detroit City next Saturday, April 12th. He came on, he played 20 minutes or so.
I think it ended up being 21 and
some change.
21 and some change, and he looked pretty good doing it.
Montgomery lifting long after Phoenix played short, 82nd minute. Sacco couldn't win it. Medranda gets the 50-50 and back for Swahi. Margarita's come back. Medranda turns, about faces beyond Formella. Driving wide, but the run of LaCava was narrow. It's given back to Phoenix, and Darius Johnson will come in. 82nd minute, and it's the man who scored the goal, Remy Cabral. They still don't like him. He grabbed the first, a big smile on his face, his third goal of the year. He nearly had his second and what would have been Phoenix's third. What a finely taken penalty it was. Cool, calm, collected. Margarita ducks beyond. He's fouled by Cronier. The two captains come together. The fiery Gerald Margarita wins a free kick, and Cronier picks up a caution. 3 goals in this game, all within 8 minutes of each other. What's the math on that?
Yeah, 8. 60th minute to Cabral, 65th to Hernandez, 68th to Gerald.
That's a good guess then. I was really guessing on the 8.
Let's see if we can nail the board.
Quayshow had it maybe 5 yards further up the pitch than it was supposed to be. They'll take that though. That's time on their clock. 83rd. Quayshow in behind, his side leading by a goal. Up for Sacco, down for Formella, who's dispossessed. It's a Rising throw. And no Quayshow will come collected off the arms of Almir Soto. Phoenix left side, attacking third. To the corner they go with Margarita. Bumped off of it. And it's a San Antonio throw. Good defensive stand, but needing a goal.
No chance for Gerald there. On his touch, thrown off. The ball just clatters off his chest.
Over the top, San Antonio dump it to a strikerless shape. Montgomery, a foot race, takes a touch. The confidence growing every week for Braxton Montgomery. Traore thumping. Sacco collecting, offside. Started off, came back on.
It's those touches though, Ryan. What a well-taken touch off the chest, right down to his right foot. And if that was onside, he was ready to turn and go.
Cronier. Sanchez and Swahi. Phoenix, after a first win of 2025, following a 2-loss, 2-draw beginning to the season. They lost the opener to Tulsa 1-0. Picked up back-to-back points. 4-4 in El Paso from 4-1 down. A 2-2 draw with the reigning Eastern Conference champions. And then a loss to Monterey a week ago. Sanchez going long, Greavy checking in. And Tristan Henry collecting for Phoenix Rising. 85th minute, a 1-goal advantage for the side in red. Two previous title winners meeting. The 2022 champions San Antonio, the 2023 champions Phoenix. Good pressure from Hernandez. Took Traore off the ball, but it's a throw for Phoenix Rising.
Coach Ka yelling at Formella to chase. San Antonio had Phoenix in a blender, and Formella has to run after every ball.
Avievu lifting long. Johnson lost it in the eyes. Paredes pushing up over the top. Wide of the touchline, out for a throw. They are wasting time. Ball kid made the right move. That's why they love it. 86th.
Fearless strike from the ball kid.
They need all the time they can get. 16th ever meeting between these two. It's even. 6 wins, 3 draws coming in. Phoenix has only ever won once in San Antonio. Whipping wide for Paredes. Here come the home side. Down the line for Hernandez, looking to create. Jorge Hernandez dropping backwards. Paredes overlapping run. Flores Blanco off the chest of Avievu. And a corner kick coming. And these have been heart in the throat moments for Phoenix Rising this season. Set pieces, their biggest issue in 2025 so far. 87th minute, Hernandez to swing one outward from the far side. Toyota Field Rising. Hernandez's delivery, laid up well for Cronier off his backside, kept alive Medranda! And it took a deflection. It tucked off the body of Noble Okello. It's another corner. From the same side, no. Topko will have to switch. Hernandez had put the ball to the ground on the far, and he will rush to the near. This would make it an in-swinging service. Jimmy Medranda had the strike.
Heart in the throat moment is exactly what this is, Ryan.
Play short. Flores Blanco crossing in. A real chance at the back post, and Henry has to deflect it away. It's another corner kick. 88th minute, 2-1.
Those outstretched arms of Tristan Henry back at work. First guy up in the air, last guy to hit the ground. He's generally jumping high enough to do so. Gets a hand there. Not sure if there was an actual chance to get ahead on the ball, but he made sure there was none.
A change for Carlos Llamosa in San Antonio. Pacheco's on. Osorio's on, and Nicky Hernandez has come on for Jake LaCava. Osorio off, LaCava off. Hernandez and Pacheco straight into the mix. Hernandez will swing one out. 2-1 Phoenix Rising on the road. San Antonio into the 89th minute. Hernandez swinging, driving, heading away Quayshow. Falls kindly for Paredes. Wide for Hernandez. Jorge Hernandez, brilliant service headed away by Traore. Further by Avievu, but not out yet. Paredes ducking, and he invites the challenge of Avievu, who fouls Luis Andres Paredes. It's a free kick for San Antonio.
Also entering the match for SA, number 70,
22 yards out, just on the edge of the far side of the 18.
Number 34, Juan Osorio.
This place will go ballistic if a ball hits the back of the net for the home side. The gritty, gutsy side that San Antonio is, searching for a second that would equal this game. 4-man wall for Phoenix. Hernandez steps away. Medranda stings it into the midriff of Henry, who holds so strongly at his goal line. And he'll roll it out. He'll roll it out for Quayshow. 90th minute. Emmy takes a touch backwards, and Traore says no thank you, and lifts it into the sky. Caught by Pacheco, a good fielded punt. Backwards he goes. Sanchez, Cronier and Soto and Medranda and Swahi has to reach for it. He can't quite collect it. It's well pressured by Darius Johnson of Phoenix. Soto, middle of the park, chasing into his defensive third. Whip wide for Cronier. San Antonio trail 2-1. Over the top. Montgomery can't win it. We will have 9 minutes of stoppage time. Space for Hernandez, just outside the box. Whip wide Pacheco. Diogo Pacheco cutting into his left, crossing to the back post over everyone's head. 9 minutes of stoppage time. That is a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of football to play. Diogo Pacheco with a beautiful mullet for the record. Had a chance, sent it over the far post, and now Rising need to control. I don't think that they can survive this sitting on their back heels and defending corner after corner, direct kick after indirect free kick. Control the game. You can still put this one away. You're still looking for a brace. Go play soccer.
Over the top from Henry, got caught in the wind. Quayshow couldn't win the header. Grieve did. It's wide and out for a throw. 92nd. Quayshow's looking for somebody. He's taking his steps. He'll throw it long. Put Pacheco under pressure. Formello won it. Margarita could not keep it away. San Antonio ball. Hernandez throwing in quickly. Wide to the left side. Flores Blanco. Space for San Antonio. Johnson couldn't win it. Further wide for Luis Andreas Paredes. Ducking towards the byline. 1v1 versus Colin Smith. Paredes lost his dribble. Wide he goes for Blanco. Nelson Flores Blanco clipping up. Free header Pacheco! Stopped at the line by Tristan Henry. It's another claim at the low level of Tristan Henry. It's still 2-1. 7 minutes to play. Soto won it out of the air. Paredes knotted it down. Medranda bumped into by Akello. Advantage was played, but then wasn't. Hernandez is put in the back of the net. It won't count because Greg Dopka blew the whistle and stopped play to check on, I believe, Kevin Cardes, a head injury. And Jimmy Medranda is holding his arm, but Dopka stopped play instantly. It was Noble Akello who fouled. He's already on a yellow card. Still 2-1.
Yeah, I think the reason that one goes in the back of the net is because you hear the whistle go. Phoenix kind of pulls off the gas. I mean, I don't know if it's a head injury.
Flores Blanco driving into the box. Knotted around, Akello heads away. Only as far as the forehead of Hernandez. Right side, attacking third. Hernandez drifting. Margarita won it off of him, and he won a throw. It's been a shift from Phoenix's captain, Gerald Margarita, today. A goal, right now the winning goal, and a defensive performance that might rank among the best of his individual career. 94th minute, 2-1 Phoenix. Formella fouled. Pacheco too handsy. Quayshow fake to play it quick and will now slow it. Do have the portrait of her side searching for 3 points for the first time this year, Phoenix Rising. Everything they can to find a win, they are looking to do. Long for Cronier. He's won it out of the air. Knotted down by Phoenix's Margarita. Avievu. Margarita again, heels on the touchline. Back heels to Sacco, who takes it to the corner, but was a step offside. Stuff like that's gonna haunt Phoenix if San Antonio can find an equalizer. 95th minute. 2-1. Hernandez. Cronier, pressured by Avievu. Pacheco off his chest, right side. Feet now center of the park. Hernandez, Avievu won it back for Phoenix. And now we'll look to drive beyond Medranda. Avayevu, backwards he goes. Johnson searching for room. And now has Sacco. Sacco can't quite keep it in. Far side, 95th minute still into the 96th. A day that was to be perceived as a coronation day for the hosts. Home stadium, national TV, 4-0 start. Pacheco trying to salvage something. Into the box for Hernandez. Tripped up, and they say he dove. Hernandez was taken to ground by Avayevu, but Greg Dopka says simulation, and it stays 2-1 in San Antonio.
Could have gone either way. I think that there's a shoulder from Avayevu, but I think that there's more of a dive. There's some ankle contact, there's boots, but I don't think it's a penalty. It's a fantastic call from the referee. It goes in favor of Phoenix, almost calling the third penalty of the match.
There's contact, but Hernandez goes down just a little easier than you'd like.
Yeah, I mean, you take him to ground, I think there's some legs banging together, but I don't think it's enough.
It's probably one of those that's referee's discretion, Kev. 97th, long from Henry, down into the concourse. San Antonio throw. Kronielek lifting, right to left, long diagonal. Header missed by Smith. He's missed a couple of those today, and that gives Phoenix Rising a chance to defend a San Antonio throw in the attacking third. Flores Blanco looking for support. He can't quite find it. He's got Grieve. Grieve, back for Paredes. Powerful strike, claimed inside the 6 by Henry again. The Canadian's been sturdy today in every possible instance he's needed to be. 2-1 Phoenix Rising.
Now Henry holds. He wasn't really holding the ball as long as he could have earlier. Now he knows what needs to come. 2 minutes to go.
Kronielek won the header. Okello cleared it anyway. Sanchez takes it off his chest, the goalkeeper, a miscommunication. Flores Blanco, Paredes pivots, pushing the ball forward, running at Smith. Here's Luis Paredes, fouling him was Darius Johnson. No, that looked like a surefire shove in the back, but it's a goal kick for Phoenix Rising. 90 seconds to play in this second half.
I don't know if there's a shove there, Ryan. I think that it might have just been DJ running. I don't think it's a dive, but I don't see any arm-to-back contact there. DJ just doing what he has to push the ball, and they get lucky for a goal kick.
I tell you what Carlos Yamosa does. He ran right to the fourth official, and as the AR got in his vicinity, he ran to him. Long from Henry, won by Medranda, chested down by Grieve. Hernandez on the left side, spins beyond the defender, wide for Flores Blanco, and winning the challenge. Advantage played, Paredes thumping into the box, kept alive Hernandez, cleared away Johnson. 45 seconds left, 2-1 Phoenix. Sacco taking to the corner, looking for help. Can he tee up Margarita? Juro Margarita looking, he was offside by a shade. And that will slow play down. No goal, 2-1 still. 30 seconds at most, or at a minimum, for San Antonio to strike an equalizer. They are perfect in 2025. Traore won the header. Okello nods it forward. Margarita slipped, but kept possession. Margarita in for Formella. Cleared away by Swahi. Formella chasing and winning the ball, and Sanchez comes to get it. We have played 99 minutes into the 100th hour, and we will go no more. San Antonio's stardust-filled season ends at the hands of Phoenix Rising. 2-1 your final score in Texas. First 3 points of the year for the Phoenicians, Kevin Cardes.
Phoenix finally gets it done. San Antonio's streak comes to a skid and a halt at home. Rising get the penalty, and then it felt like they were just going to let it all happen again. give up a penalty on the other end after a fantastic strike from Remy Cabral. Just one long ball over the top was all it took for San Antonio to get back in, but it's Joel Margarita doing what he's needed to do through the first 5, and finally Phoenix finds 3 and somehow only climbed to 10th in the table in the West.
Amidst a chaotic second half, it was Phoenix Rising who found a bit more fun. A penalty from Remy Cabral in the 60th, followed moments later, really, in the 65th minute. Penalty from Jorge Hernandez of San Antonio. And then 3 minutes after that, on a quick-fire counter, Joel Margarita grabbed his first of the year with the captain's armband around his right bicep to give Phoenix Rising a 2-1 win in San Antonio, Texas. A storybook start for San Antonio to begin 2025. Comes after 4 straight wins, 12 points from 12. But they fall to Phoenix in a 2-1 variety, and this was one of the more fun halves you've been involved in over the course of this year if you're a USL Championship watcher, Kev.
Yeah, I mean, the first half really didn't live to the billing. You saw 2 teams filling each other out and then immediately like shot out of a cannon, 3 goals, 8 minutes. But Rising take 2 of the 3 that are scored, and finally they find that win. Just so fun. And it's really, to me, the play of Braxton Montgomery who let this one happen. No center back started this game. They didn't come on until after that 60-minute mark. Mo Traore finally coming in to stabilize that back line. But man, the 18-year-old did just enough every time to ward away enough pressure to keep Tristan Henry in the game, even after a gutsy challenge, and Rising walk away the victors.
They might have a real player there. We'll break it all down in the Phoenix Rising Radio Network post-game wrap-up show presented by Crown Public House. 2-1 your final score. Phoenix Rising find 3 points for the first time in 2025. San Antonio FC fall flat for the first time in this calendar year. It's 2-1 to Phoenix from San Antonio and Toyota Field.
Tuku's in. Arteaga!
You're listening to Rising Radio, home of the 2023 USL Champions.
Bliss and a burst of red smoke. Phoenix Rising, our home. Welcome to 38th and Washington.
Stick around for more as our broadcast continues.
Buying a house can seem almost impossible, especially today. But with the right agent in your corner, it makes the challenge seem effortless. Hi, I'm Connor Cochran with Good Oak Real Estate, your go-to agent in Valley. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Because finding the perfect home shouldn't be stressful, it should be exciting. Call 480-688-3200 today. Again, that's 480-688-3200. Let's have the conversation.
Hey Phoenix Rising fans, this is Discount Tire, your hometown tire retailer and trusted partner on the road for over 65 years. We know it can be overwhelming when buying tires, but we're here to help. Our online tire buying guide, Treadwell, makes finding the right tires simple. Just plug in your vehicle, location, and driving habits, and Treadwell will give you unbiased, personalized recommendations based on your needs, not based on price. Inviting, easy, and safe, just how tire buying should be. Shop tires with Treadwell at discounttire.com. Let's get you taken care of.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
We're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that our daughters have what they need to grow and learn. But that isn't the case for nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. that struggle with hunger.
Childhood hunger is a heartbreaking reality that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and provides it to families and children in need.
You can help kids in need in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Peyton Manning. I'm partnering with the American Red Cross this year to tackle blood shortages. Blood's important because every 2 seconds someone actually needs blood. Unfortunately, only like 3% of the U.S. population donates. So we have to step up. We have to make sure there's plenty of blood available for those in need.
Thank you for joining us
Visit
today.
redcrossblood.org,
Be safe and home.
get in the game, and make an appointment to give.
Time for one last kick of the ball on tonight's match. It's Rising Radio postgame wrap-up on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
It's a road rain for Phoenix Rising on this Sunday afternoon in Texas. 2-1, your final score from Toyota Field as we bring you into the post-game wrap-up show presented by Crown Public House. Ryan Sikora with Kevin Cardez here with you from San Antonio, Texas. 3 points for the first time this year for Phoenix Rising, Kev.
Yeah, they finally get it done. It's what you've waited for through the entire first month, and they just did enough. San Antonio, so solid, and I still think that there's an argument where you could say, hey, I mean, they were the aggressors from the 1st to the 90th, but when they needed it, Rising struck, and it was really the superstar play of Gerald Margarita, their national from Curacao, who put it all together and smashed in a spectacular goal to take the final lead that they needed. That penalty from Remy, so strong, so necessary. Their first seconds that they led, and they managed to put their foot back on the gas pedal when it mattered most and bring home 3.
Boy, and what a weird 10 minutes it was for Phoenix Rising. They score first, they win that penalty in and around the 58th minute. It's put home in the 60th. 5 minutes later, a penalty is scored by Jorge Hernandez of San Antonio, but that was won maybe in the 62nd. There was a long restart to get that one going, and then on the counter, Margarita strikes for the second of the game for Phoenix Rising. Oh boy, that was gritty, it was gutsy from both sides, defensively strong and stable. From both teams throughout, they played tough football.
Yeah, and I said it before we went to break. Braxton Montgomery filled big shoes, and he might not be the tallest guy, but he was an absolute professional for 90 minutes. I think it's also inspiring that Emi Quayshaw went the full 90. He's been in and out of the lineup. He wasn't able to go 90 before this, and then he plays the entire match. Just what a performance from everyone involved. You saw the bench finally get utilized. Darius Johnson get out onto the pitch. Formella, the chaser. I mean, they never asked him to do that last year, and man, he just chased the ball. He was all over the place, did everything that they were asked, and it was a game in which people were asked to be uncomfortable, out of position, and to do things that they don't normally do, perhaps not naturals at, and they all said, Coach, I got it. I could do it for you. And Phoenix managed to pull it all the way back. Just inspiring, and it lets you know that there is enough in this team to start the climb, and it starts today.
Early days in the season, they've talked a ton about it. Both of these teams have. It really ain't about how you start. You got to find a way to get going and eclipse as this season goes along. They're all building towards 1 month. That's November when the championships happen. And Phoenix just showed that they can hang with the best of them. San Antonio, the strongest team through the first month of the USL Championship season. And Phoenix Rising find a way to get 3 points. And they get it through a defensive shape. They change shape, Kevin Cardez, for the first time this year, and it works out in Pamadouka's favor.
It's to me, it's not the first time that they've changed shape this year. It's the first time that they've come out of the gates with a different look. They're often opt to go into that back three look when they're on the chase looking for an equalizer or a goal to go up ahead. But Pa came out this time with a different thought process to start on minute 1. That first whistle has been the same the 4 times that it's been blown to start the first 4 games. But instead, match week 5, Pa says, all right, fine, we can tinker a little bit. He's been so firm in saying, hey, this is who we are. We want to play like this. This is, our identity. And instead, he does what I thought was going to be a little unthinkable. Pa changed it up, and it was fantastic all the way through, and then enough to bring home a win.
It's a win. That's all he really cares about, Pamadouka, who's making his way off the pitch at last. An embrace for him. His players put in a shift. They put in a performance. They had less of the ball today than they are used to seeing. And it was really a war right from the beginning. And I think right at the heart of it, Kevin Cardes, you hit on it towards the tail end of the broadcast, an 18-year-old who's a center back for his club at the youth level, but has become a right-footed left back at the professional level to start this season, Kev. Amidst all four center backs being unavailable from jump for Pamadou Ka, he turns to an 18-year-old to play center back next to a right back, and Braxton Montgomery was phenomenal today for Phoenix Rising.
Oh, just there when it needed to be there. Braxton found himself in spaces that were valuable, and it felt like he wasn't lacking when he was in those spaces, constantly attacked by the likes of Juan Agudelo, who is so strong, and he looks like the tallest 6'1" guy I've ever seen in my entire life. Braxton stood next to him the entire game and made it hard for Juan, and it just showed the entire time. His center back counterpart, which I didn't think I'd ever say, Colin Smith, also did his job on the other side of the ball. It was a really gutsy effort from guys who were once again asked to do things that were uncomfortable, not natural, but it was enough to look at coach and say, I can handle it. I can get this one done. And they didn't have to ask for the services of Darnell King this time like they did last week.
And this is a team that will get Pamadou Ka's two most important players, maybe in some ways, when you look at it back at some point. Pop Marboy at the back, and the way he wants to use Carl Saint at a peak is important. But we'll start with Pop Marboy, who's coming back into this team next week as they take on Detroit next Saturday.
Yeah, and I think that Pop has had an up and down few weeks. It's not really the start that I think the club wanted for him, that fans wanted for him, that Pop wanted for himself. When someone asked him on the concourse before the red and black scrimmage, it was, what do you want to do more this year? He said, score more goals. Well, I mean, maybe that's on the horizon, but what?
I said I like scoring more goals.
Well, I also like scoring more goals, and although I'm a poor quality choice winger, I think that Pop, he wants to be better, and that red card that he got from the 2 yellows, the second that card came out of the pocket, it was despair for Pop. It's a guy who loves to play soccer, obviously, but they miss him, and they miss Mo, and when Mo's not there and Pop isn't there, it's so rocky. And then there's Carl, and you want Carl to come back too, because you're right. The system is predicated a lot around a lot of the metronomic passing that Carl Fred Saint has given you in the MLS Next Pro levels, and at times for the first team with FC Dallas in Major League Soccer. Getting those guys back and seamlessly integrating them into the team is exactly what they need to hit that final gear. But if this isn't the final gear, they just knocked off maybe the best team in the West without being there, and that's a big marker.
It is a wide open Western Conference, and it's an early statement at last, it feels like, for Phoenix Rising. Finally, 3 points for Phoenix in this 2025 season. They top San Antonio FC 2-1. We'll come back, we'll give you the stats, we'll close the book on this one from Toyota Field in Texas.
Zuzuchukwu's in. Arteaga!
You're listening to Rising Radio, home of the 2023 USL champions.
Bliss and a burst of red smoke. Phoenix Rising, our home. Welcome to 38th and Washington.
Stick around for more as our broadcast continues.
Buying a house can seem almost impossible, especially today. But with the right agent in your corner, it makes the challenge seem effortless. Hi, I'm Connor Cochran with Good Oak Real Estate, your go-to agent in the Valley. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Because finding the perfect home shouldn't be stressful, it should be exciting. Call 480-688-3200 today. Again, that's 480-688-3200. Let's have the conversation.
Hey Phoenix Rising fans, this is Discount Tire, your hometown tire retailer and trusted partner on the road for over 65 years. We know it can be overwhelming when buying tires, but we're here to help. Our online tire buying guide, Treadwell, makes finding the right tires simple. Just plug in your vehicle, location, and driving habits, and Treadwell will give you unbiased, personalized recommendations based on your needs, not based on price. Inviting, easy, and safe. Just how tire buying should be. Shop tires with Treadwell at discounttire.com. Let's get you taken care of.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Peyton Manning, and I'm partnering with the American Red Cross this year to tackle blood shortages. Giving blood's important because every 2 seconds, someone actually needs blood, and unfortunately, only like 3% of the U.S. population donates. So we have to step up to give and make sure there's plenty of blood available for those in need. Visit redcrossblood.org to get in the game and make an appointment to give.
You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is the Rising Radio post-game wrap-up on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
Whew. 3 precious points for Phoenix Rising. Finally find their way at the feet of the 2023 champions, looking to bounce back in this redemption season of 2025. Ryan Sikora, Kevin Cardez. And it came largely via the penalty spot, but Kevin, we'll start with this. Maybe the most important moment of the game, a no penalty decision towards the tail end from the referee Greg Dobka, a collision that Jorge Hernandez was worse for wear on, but Dobka determining he dove, he simulated his action, and that's why there was no penalty decision towards the tail end of the game.
I wonder if it's because of the actual forward dive that he took, not to say, oh, he dove, obviously, but the referee decides that, he takes a tumble that's not really of the fault of Rising, but you heard boots clack, and on the replay up on the board, you saw that there was a little bit of a tangle of the legs. I don't know which way it could have gone, but they're really, really lucky on 2 penalty instances. One, that wasn't called, and 2, that Tristan Henry wasn't called for a red card in front of net after he swung and hit the head, not on purpose, of a San Antonio player and sent him down to the ground. It was a big piece of contact to the most valuable part of the body, and then they escaped it with just a caution out of the pocket to Tristan. He was gutsy all day. That was certainly one of those moments where you kind of clutch your pearls and go, oh my. But they escape it on both penalty opportunities, and they make it out with a win.
And now they start their climb, a meeting with Detroit City FC next weekend at home on Saturday, April 12th, and then midweek action as the April fixture congestion gets started with the United States Open Cup. Now it's a chance to build for Phoenix.
Yeah, but it doesn't get easier, right? Tulsa beat them in week 1, and they're sort of cruising to one of their better years. You have to go out to Oklahoma, play them on the road. Phoenix wanted a home game, but they surely didn't want to go to Oklahoma in the process. Anywhere in LA would have been cool. Sorry, you get to go to the middle of the United States, and Detroit is no slouch either. LaRouge on another tear on the Eastern Conference. The East is very deep, and every time you play a team over there, you know it's not going to be one of those just sit back and, hey, let's have it. The West has gotten more competitive, the East has gotten more competitive, and the general theme in the championship is the bar has just gotten higher. I don't think that we've had a game all year where we've walked in and been like, yeah, this is one of those. And there's no opportunity to get free points. Even El Paso, who sat at the bottom of the West, gave Phoenix an absolute night. They scored 4, they conceded 4, back and forth. It's a high-level league. Phoenix need to make a climb, and they start from the bottom because of a slow start.
Pamadou Kaz, Mentality Monsters, find a way to grab 3 points on the road in Texas. Kevin, before we go, who you got tomorrow? Houston, Florida. We'll get producer Sammy in.
It's always been the Gators. It's always been the Gators.
Sammy? Yeah, put it on. Come on, you got to say something. You're on the air. Come on, buddy.
Always been Florida. It's been Florida since the SEC tournament.
Okay, so I'll take Houston. I'll play par for the course. Okay, 2-1 your final score. Phoenix Rising get the win on a national environment here on this wonderful Sunday matinee. 2-1 your final from Toyota Field. For Kevin Cardez, for Sammy O'Brien, I've been Ryan Sikora saying so long on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network. This has been the post-game wrap-up show presented by Crown Public House.